Hello, my name is Barbara Turner-Michelson, and this presentation is called Exploratory 101, How to Navigate this Unique Major, Tips, Advice, and Resources. I work at the Career Development Office here on campus, and I just want to kind of go over a couple of slides with you about being an exploratory student, some resources that you have, and just some things to help you hopefully calm down, because many of you get kind of anxious about this one. So, are your parents on your case to choose a career sooner than you feel ready? Have they been pestering you each time you go home and you're really not ready to pick one yet? Are you living with roommates who have already declared and seem to be way ahead in their career path? You may have a roommate who's a nursing student, an education student. You may have a roommate or a friend who's going into accounting, and they already know exactly what they want to do, and you feel more and more lost and more disconnected. And usually anxiety kind of creeps up with those conversations. I know it can be daunting, and with so many options, you might have a hard time deciding which to pick or even where to do any research. So hopefully this short presentation will give you the confidence to start finding your career path. You don't have to make the decision in a day. You don't have to make the decision in a week. We ask that you have made your decision no later than the end of your sophomore year. And so the best thing to do is usually to meet with somebody in the career development office. So a couple of tips I want to go over. Number one, you are not alone. 9% of incoming XU students are exploratory. That's up to 120 students. This means it's probably the largest major. So you're really not alone at all. By the end of freshman year, 33 to 35% declare in May, and by the end of your sophomore year, 95% of you will have declared. Usually that other 5% are students who have not quite met the GPA requirement that they would need to get into the major of their choice. There are a number of opportunities and strategies to help you with this decision throughout the year that I hope you'll take the opportunity of. Another tip, use this time to dive into a variety of waters. The first thing you really need to do is figure out who you are. What drives you? What do you really like? So I suggest you take out a paper and pen or something, or just kind of jot some things down and do some reflection. You want to reflect about in high school, what classes did you like? What classes didn't you like? What classes did you excel, and in what classes did you kind of struggle? Maybe none of your classes were of interest to you. I've met with a number of students who feel that way, and that's even more scary to them. But it's not a problem. Most likely, you've done something outside of school that you really enjoyed. It may have been playing sports. It may have been playing different games or creating games. You may have really liked crafts, sewing, art, painting. You may have liked reading. Yeah, maybe you did puzzles a lot. Or maybe you did a lot of volunteering. And what population did you volunteer with? Did you volunteer with animals? Did you volunteer with people? Did you volunteer at events, sporting events? Another thing to reflect on is, what are your skills and strengths? What skills do you have? I know you've got a lot, and you've got a lot of strengths. Sometimes it's hard to kind of figure these things out, but if you think good and hard at what you really enjoyed, you probably were good at the skills that it takes to do those. And then what are your weaknesses? If you don't like math, you might want to, pick a major that the math is not that critical of a class, that you are able to take an easier math. If you really didn't like history at all, then you're going to want to, be careful with what you pick for those. Reflect on, do you like to work alone or with others? Sometimes people like some of both. I know I do. Do you like working with people or computers or animals? Do one of these populations really stick out to you? And yes, computers could be a population, why not? And reflect on your network. Who do you know, and who could tell you about a career you might be interested in? Your extended family, your aunts, uncles. Maybe you have an older sibling who's already in college or out of college. Maybe you have some step siblings that could discuss their careers. You probably have neighbors, maybe friends of your parents or parents of friends. There's so many resources out there that you can get a better grip of different job descriptions and what people do. But again, you don't have to make this decision right away. Your best bet is to just kind of look around and spend some time thinking of who am I? What am I good at? Do I like to do public speaking? Can I not stand public speaking? Do I journal a lot? Do I like to write things? Do I like to watch sports all the time on TV? What are all the different majors that one can take that might be including sports or involving sports? Tip number 3, get out into the world, way beyond academics. There are opportunities both on and off campus for you to explore different majors, careers, and industries. Join a club on campus. There's a few hundred to pick from. Find one or two that pique your interest. Job shadow. Spend a day finding out what it takes to do a career you may be interested in. And if you need help in knowing who to job shadow, that's why you want to contact the Career Development Office. We've got a number of mentors and a number of employers who would be more than happy to have you job shadow. Volunteer anywhere around your home city or here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is full of one-time events, but they're always looking for volunteers. Cincinnati's got a number of nonprofit organizations, anywhere from the Soup Kitchen to the SPCA to the schools, who all need your help and your knowledge and your smiling face. Join a professional organization. Most of these offer students a discount. And last but not least, be sure to contact the Career Development Office for assistance with any of these options. Tip 4, your resources. There's many of them out there. One-on-one career coaching is where you would connect with the Career Development Office person, a coach, and you can schedule an appointment through Handshake. We all offer, there's 3 or 4 coaches that are more than happy to meet with you to talk about what's your next step. Focus 2 is an assessment. It's a quick and easy assessment that's also listed on our website to help you define your interests. It doesn't tell you what you're good at or bad at, but it helps you kind of figure out, oh, maybe some light bulbs go off in your head of things that you're interested in. Flash mentoring is a great tool to connect with professionals in the areas you might be interested in. Again, those are all listed on our website. Flash mentoring is a great way to connect with somebody and talk about their career for about 15-20 minutes. The Career Development website has a variety of internal and external resources you can access from home. It's an XU Career Development Office. And we've got lots of resources for you to read through or to connect with. Connect with a department chair or a faculty member in a major or 2 of your interest. They're not going to sit there and talk to you about trying to talk you into their major. What they want to do is describe to you what the classes are you would take, what kinds of internships you might be involved in, what kinds of volunteer work you might want to consider if you're interested in those. They just know so much information about their major, and they're more than happy to share that information with you to help you make the decision. And finally, ONET and the Bureau of Labor Statistics are also useful resources for an overview of hundreds of careers. These are both government-sponsored websites that can tell you anything from where those jobs are, if it's a trendy job or not, and what the salaries are. So you really have many resources and many options. You want to start with the Career Development Office, both our website and with one of us. We meet with students virtually, we meet with students in person, and we meet with students over the phone. So whatever works best for you.